Hey everybody, today we're making pizza dough. The ingredients you are going to need are 2 clean bowls. I'm using mixing bowls, one to mix up your ingredients and one to let your dough rest and rise. Also, we're using some olive oil, salt, yeast, sugar. There's my measuring devices. I have 1 1/3 cup. And I'm using all-purpose flour. In this bowl we have 2 tablespoons of dry active yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and we have 1 1/3 cups of warm, not hot water. And you just want to give it a little mix, and you can do it with your clean hand. Or you can do it with a spoon, but most people can just do it with their fingers as long as they're clean. And you're going to let that sit until it gets very frothy. Here is our frothy yeast, and now we'll be adding 3 cups of all-purpose flour. The correct way to measure flour, and I'm having to hold my phone right now, so you want to use a spoon or a measuring spoon. And this is the correct way to measure all your flour, so you would do this 3 times in 1 cup, or if you have a 3 cup, you can do that. Now we will be adding 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. One moment. So this is my 2nd tablespoon of olive oil that I'm adding. And now we're just going to take our hands and we're going to mix all of this in. And I would normally have 2 hands in here, but I'm having to hold the camera, so. And you just want to mix this until you have a shaggy dough. And then you're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour down on a clean surface. Clean counter, clean cutting board, whatever you choose. And you do want to make sure your hands are good and clean when you do this. So you're just going to keep mixing until you get that frothy dough and all the flour is mixed in well. And then we'll be turning it out, and then we're going to knead the dough after we turn it out onto the flour for 10 minutes. At least 10 minutes. And then it's going to form a smooth ball, and we're going to put it in the other clean bowl that I have over there. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil, brush it with a little olive oil, and then we're going to place the ball of dough into that and cover it with saran wrap. And you want to find a warm place in your kitchen to set your bowl, and it takes about 90 minutes, and it's going to double in size. And then from there on out, you will open up the saran wrap off your bowl, take your fist and punch the middle of the dough, which I'll show. And it just lets all the air out of the dough. Sorry, I think my finger's in the way. Hold on, y'all. This is so hard to do. But anyway, it lets all the air out of the dough once you punch it, and then you're going to take the dough back out and form it into a nice dough ball. And then you're going to take a cutter or a knife, whichever you have, and cut it in half, and this will make 2 pizzas. So we have a nice shaggy dough now. So I will be back with you in just one moment, and I will show you how I'm doing this. So now, y'all, my phone is now covered with flour. So I found a little place to pop it up, and I hope this is workable and that y'all can see what I'm doing. So I've got some flour that I put out on my cutting board. And now I'm just emptying this dough onto that flour. Plop it right out there. Try to get all of it if you can, or most of it. It's going to be a little bit hard to get every little single piece, but I try. Okay. So how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's well. And I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. And me, I just kind of hung out at the house. I did something I normally don't do. I went to Captain D's. And tonight I'm doing something I normally don't do, but kind of needed a break from eating healthy stuff all the time. I know that sounds terrible, but you know how it is. Every once in a while you want some carbs. So I won't eat but maybe 2 pieces of pizza, and it's going to be rolled thin. So that's good for me. And as you see, I'm really scraping this thing. Most people probably are not so OCD about getting all of it out as I am. But if I can, I do. Okay. So now we're just going to knead this for 10 minutes. And you might need to get a little flour on your hands. And I'm not going to make you watch me for 10 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. But about 10 minutes, fold, push, fold, push. You're just folding and pushing, folding and pushing, folding and pushing. And if you need to add a little extra flour, which you might, I'm going to have to. You just put a little bit more down. And I kind of just twist it to get that flour in there. And then fold, push, fold, push. That's just kneading. For you that don't know anything about this, I'm just letting you know. I know there's a lot of people on here that already know this, but there's some that do not. Alright, I will be back with you shortly while I flour my phone. So, like I said, if you need a little extra flour, still feeling a bit doughy there, just put some flour there and I twist it. And you can twist it on the sides and on the top. Or you can just kind of flour the top or wherever you need it and just kind of go around and get a little bit on your fingers too, because I've got it all stuck to me. That's okay, but you can. Alright, that's my 10 minute, so I'm going to turn that off. But I'm going to show you one more time. I just fold, take the palms of my hands and push forward. Then I flip it over, palms of the hands and push forward. Can't talk today. And push forward, push forward. And you can go backwards with it too. But most people push it forward. So anyway, you want to do that for at least 10 minutes, and I have. So now I'm just shaping my dough into a dough ball. As evenly as I can get it. And what we're going to do, I'm not even going to take time to wash my hands. I don't like the way that looks right there. I gotta fix it. Well, sometimes you just gotta form and shape it a little bit more. But either way, it's gonna be fine. I'm just kind of patting it down just a little bit. And we are going to take this bowl, it's a clean bowl, nothing's been in it. I'm gonna add just a little dash of olive oil, maybe a teaspoon and a half. And I'm looking for my brush, here it is. And I'm just gonna brush my bowl with it, the sides and the bottom. Now that I think I've got enough oil everywhere, I'll go in the sink. We'll put our dough ball in the oiled bowl. We're going to get some saran wrap, and we are going to cover this. Likes to stick together. Anybody else go through that too? And just put this on as tightly as you can. You want to try to keep that air inside. That's why you're going to be knocking that air out later, but you do want it tight so that it'll stay warm. And you can put a towel over the top of this too, but you want it in a warm area. So what I'm going to do, sure there's nothing in the oven because I'm bad about that. I'm going to turn it on 350 and start it. And I'm going to put it right here, and it can sit on top of this warming oven for 90 minutes. And then after the 90 minutes is up, we'll be back. So as you can see, it has doubled. And it's not even time to take the saran wrap off yet. We have 65, 615. Okay, y'all, so my phone went dead earlier and I had to charge it. So I had to punch the dough before, you know, I could show you again. So you could see right here that it's been punched and all the air was gotten out. You just punch it, you know, after you get it out, or you can punch it while it's still in the bowl. So anyway, now we're just going to roll it up and make a ball out of it. Just a big dough ball. Kind of flatten it down a little bit. And I'm going to take my cutter, or you can take a knife, and we are going to just cut this in equal pieces, just right down the center. And then I have already got, this is the easiest way I think, I got my round pizza pan. You can make a rectangle if you'd like, but this is how I do it. And I'm just going, I put parchment paper down on top so that I don't have to spray the pan, and it's just easier to remove the pizza too. So I start by just kind of stretching it out. And he wants a thin crust, so I'm going to go as thin as I possibly can with this. And I just start taking the palms of my hands and stretching the dough out to the corner edges of the pizza pan. And you want to kind of do this a bit